Hey guys, welcome to the Retro Gaming Junction. This is Camilio and we're live on Twitch pretty much every day, 8 PM Eastern Time, continuing Ultima 7 Part 2. I think we just got our coat. Yeah, okay. Which means we can go to the banquet, but I think the banquet is later. Congratulations on successfully completing the Knight's Test. Thus thou hast proven thyself worthy of joining an elite band of warriors. In thine honor, all of the commands of Monitor have sent their representative to thy kingdom, to thy knighthood banquet. On behalf of the bears, which by the way are the mightiest warriors in the land, I welcome thee to the kingdom, to thy knighthood banquet. As a leader of the wolves, which, unlike the bears, prefer to rely on our wits rather than brute strength, I too welcome thee to the ranks of the knights. Since thou art under my command, I expect to know thee much better in the days to come. And I am here both as the Lord of Monitor and as the leader of the leopards. Lucilla hath prepared this feast, the main dish, of which includes meat from the wolf which thou didst slay in the Knight's Test. Now let us eat, and as we do so, let us extend our fellowship to this new knight. Let us eat. Can I talk to everybody? What is thou think of the Knight's Test? Dost thou have any armoring experience? Never mind that loud. What part of the dungeon was the most difficult? The gremlins, the explosions, Cyclops, Invisible Man. Invisible Man? What the fuck is he talking about? I remember there's only Cyclops, from what I remember. The gremlins. Were they gremlins? Dost thou hear what he did say? They are magical beasts in the Knight's Test. We must speak with Schmed about this. Our dungeon is strictly a test of fighting ability. No magic allowed. Eh? Camillo, we are all warriors here. It is not necessary for thee to attempt to impress us with exaggerated tales. What else dost thou see in the Knight's Test? Well, there weren't any of these. Schmed is the master of Knight's Test. If I were thee, I would speak to him about thy strange experience. Oh yeah, he's kind of like dead. Yeah, close by. My daughter Kantra is gone. I have looked everywhere for her. Yeah, we haven't seen her for a while. We need to send out a patrol. The goblins have struck again. I'm sorry, Arna, but if the goblins have her, she's lost. There is not an ounce of mercy or remorse within them. But the goblins did not take her. Thou canst not know any such thing. It must have been the goblins. Remember, they killed thine husband right outside the city, not even leaving a body. Forgive me, Lord, but I, too, have a serious matter to put before the leaders of Monitor. Dost thou not need to rest thyself, Templar? Thou hast had no time to heal from thy wounds. I am right enough, Shazana, and I cannot rest until I have aired my concerns. Speak thy mind then, warrior. As thou knowest, I am the sole survivor of the patrol which the goblins ambushed when Astrid was taken. The goblins were ready for us, my lord. It could not have been by accident. Lord Marston, there is a traitor in our midst. Damn spy, what shall we do, Templar? Now, I think this talk of a traitor in Monitor is all rather speculative. Surely, no one suspects anyone at this table of being a goblin spy. I do. Listen, knights, I do not take a wizard to... It doth not take a wizard to untangle this skein. Who among us acts strangely, that do things in secret and avoids his knightly duties? 'Tis him! I am weary of thine insult, Luther. I am no more of a traitor than thou art. Leave him alone, Luther. Thou shouldst stay out of this, woman.
What's going on, man?
Oh, what's going on? Hey, abstractism! I think somebody's gonna fight here. Can we join the fight? No? Stop this! Lay down thine arms, knights. Such fighting belongs on the list field, not in the banquet hall. Thy behavior hath disturbed this celebration. In the interest of calming all of our tempers, I declare this banquet to be over. Camilio, canst thou please speak to Arna about her daughter? Perhaps thou mightest have some new insights. Okay, let's talk to you. Look at the new knight. Dost thou certainly look fetching up with thy tattoo? This is Ultima 7. Is the sequel to... This is Ultima 7 Part 2. It was supposed to be Ultima 8, but since Lord British Richard Garriott really wanted each Ultima to have its separate engine, since it was using the same engine as Ultima 7, they decided to call it Ultima 7 Part 2. But it's a completely different game. It is not an expansion pack. Dude, I played Ultima 7 for I don't know how many hours and you were there the whole time. We played this game already. Yes, it does look like Ultima Online. Look at the new knight. Thou does certainly look fetching with thy tattoo. Name. I am Luther. I am a bear and a trainer of unequal strength. It is my destiny to become the next knight champion of Monitor. Traitor. The goblins did not ambush their patrol without help. If Lord Marston doth not recognize this, then he is blind as well as brainless. If doth not take a wizard to untangle the skein. Oh. Yeah, I know what you think. Destiny. No. Good for thee. But when we played this, it was not in Exult. So the resolution was even crappier. So maybe that's why. For me, they look the same, but if you look at my old VODs of Ultima 7...
You agree?
Yeah, if I just open up... It's crazy. Like, for me, it's just seamless. It's the same thing, but no, it's not. It is... Oh, that's the review. No. Ultima 7, like just a... Yeah, exactly. It's very... you're much more zoomed in, which I really didn't like. It doesn't look that different, but it's amazing the space you have now. Like before, maybe the screen was something like this part here. Like it's not that bad, but yeah, we talked about all this, I think. And like this thing. Okay. Don't go all over. Oh, whatever. Just talk to you. What carnage. It grieves me to say this, but there must be a traitor. Marston, the leader of the Hyper Command, officially runs the town and he doth have his hands full. Not only are there the goblins to worry about, but there's also a thief stealing money from the treasury. Spector, his right-hand man, is in charge of that as well. Needless to say, if that made things unpleasant between the commands as of late. Wolf. The wolves have been disloyal to Monitor since Brandon took charge. He would have us guard the roads, not the city itself. If anyone is a spy, it must be Craig. He is often out in the woods alone, and he never brings back booty or prisoners. What can he be doing? He says that he doth have an old injury, but he's merely a sniveling coward. There's a bloody war we're fighting. That I'm alive today speaking with thee is a miracle. The goblins are foul but fascinating creatures. They are more intelligent than one would think, in a bestial way, of course. If only I could speak with their general Pomdergun. Imagine what that mind must be like, so calculating, so incisive, yet so utterly inhumane. Pomdergun, the worst fucking name ever. He's the goblin leader, okay. A king or a chieftain, depending on how one translates the goblin tongue. Pomdergun claims to be a direct descendant of Grenadier, having heard him curse us on the field of battle. I know that he speaks our tongue, quite a feat for one of those creatures. It shames me to say that I am the sole survivor from the ambush of Astrid's patrol. The goblins left me for dead, or was merely dazed. There was a heap of bodies where Astrid had last been fighting, but her body was not there. It was obvious to me that they took her alive. I managed to reach Knight's desk, where Schmed gave me shelter, and sent for Arna to bandage my wounds. When I recover, I'm going there again. She was the greatest knight that I have ever had the honor of fighting beside, carrying on her standards a challenge to which I will dedicate myself for the rest of my life. Being captured alive by the goblins is a far worse fate than being killed by them on the battlefield. Survivors tell horrifying stories of torture, mutilation, and things I should not even speak of. We have been fighting the damn goblins since our forefathers landed on these shores. This city was built on the site of the goblin village. There had been a balance of sorts until the ambush of Astrid's patrol. As knight champion, she wore the helm of Monitor, and now the goblins have it. The power of the helm cannot be understated. With it, Pormdirgun can once again assemble the goblin horde and invade the lands of men. Somehow, we must regain the helm. The greatest battle of the Goblin Wars took place in the days where Grenadier was king of the goblins. Grenadier, was that like an Ultima Underworld? He was the mightiest goblin who ever lived, and he led the goblin horde in the invasion which placed Monitor itself under siege. The goblins stormed the walls and fought their way inside the city. However, the bears surrounded them, and Grenadier was at last slain. From his dead body was taken the Helm of Courage, and his ashes are enshrined in Knight's Desk. As Renfrey can tell thee, we Monitorians have a special reverence for the ashes of the dead. When a knight dies, his body must be brought back to Monitor for cremation. The ashes are then placed in the crypts. In the case of Grenadier, his ashes have a strange power. Like all ashes, they are imbued with the essence of the living being. As thou hast seen, the ashes are used in the climax of the test of knighthood. Somehow they have the power to summon one's totem animal. We now call it the Helm of Monitor, and it is worn by the Knight of Champion, but it first came from the goblins. Whence it came before they got their hands upon it, no one can say. The helm doth have mystical powers, which we believe are due to being imbued with the essence of courage. So I notice the goblin attacking patterns. Observing them, I can sometimes predict when and how they're going to strike next. I like to imagine what it must be like to be huddled around the fires of their village as they draw their plans against us. The better I can understand them, the better I can defend against them. I just give me some. patterns. They are creatures of habit, to be sure. If thou dost know their custom, then thou hast the knowledge to defeat them. They always set their travel camps in the same pattern. The chieftain's hut is the largest and is in the center. Each day ends with a drunken revel, and then the exhausted celebrants tumble to their huts and sleep until long past daybreak. When raiding a goblin camp, strike in the morning, just as the sun is coming up. This is when the guards are fewest and the chance for success is greatest. The goblins do not seem to like the sun, and their most favorite time to strike their enemy is precisely after the sun hath set for the night. Many is the time when goblin armies have marched to the edge of a city or encampment, and then they have waited until nightfall. Often these sieges lasted all night long. The goblins do not practice any sophisticated sort of military strategy or tactics. Mostly, they rely on sheer numbers as well as the fear that they inspire in the hearts of men and women. Whoever betrayed Astrid's patrol must have been a knight. Craig is the most likely suspect, as thou didst hear Luther proclaim the banquet. Someone should question that weakling and see if his guilt can be proven. Was Schmed the traitor? Ha! Schmed was that worst coward monitor. We let him hide in Knight's Test to spare ourselves the agony of exiling him. He was terrified of goblins. So how could he have become their spy? This makes no sense. Besides, the matter at Knight's Test smacks of wizardry. I think thou hast an unknown enemy from among the mages of Moonshade. Certainly. So maybe I should keep my own counsel, but I'm not the quiet type. The Fawn Tower was betrayed. How else did the goblins surprise the entire patrol? Astrid was no fool, someone betrayed her. Worse than useless. While the leopards are led by so-called warriors who spend all day sitting on their asses. Marcin is too old and Spectre, he reads books. As for the wolves, everyone knows that Brendan is weak. If thou dost ask me, he spends too much time playing stud and not enough with his sword and axe. The pikemen of Monitor are the guardians of Serpent Isle. Our 3 towers protect the Serpent Highway and defend against goblin invasions. Besides the tower here, there's a second at Sleeping Bowl. The 3rd tower was near Fawn and had been overrun by goblins. Okay, it's just a pike then. I've also heard that there is certainly no traitor and that we should not indulge in hysteria. I run the slashing sword, the best pub in Monitor. Thou mightiest thing that cooking is not a very nightly activity, but I assure thee, feeding the warrior in this town is indeed a quest of courage. If thou dost want anything to eat or drink, that says merely to say so, my lord. Thou knowest the quest to prove that thou art fit to bear thy knighthood. Surely a fine young warrior like thyself does plan to partake in the quest to retrieve the Elm of Monitor. Yes, if only we could learn the secret of their hidden camp, but it remains a mystery. Cooking. If I do say so myself, mastering cooking, slashing swords, a pub, yeah. Men. Why is it that woman must have a man? I have looked and looked, and I have not yet found the one for me. He must be tough, yet gentle with his woman, brave but afraid to disappoint his mate. He must be devious enough to win many battles, yet fair enough to consider me his equal. He was not only a founder of the pub, but he was a champion knight of Monitor. He wore the helm of Monitor for several years before he was bested in a tournament. All the knights think about is fighting, and who do they fight? The goblins? No, they prefer to spar with one another. At the list field, Luther is the worst. Oh, I hate him. What a buffoon! He thinks every woman in this town wants him, but I find him repulsive. To prove his prowess, he torments the weakest knights and challenges them to meet him on the list field. And when they lose, which they must, since Luther is such a powerful brute, he gloats over them. They say that new shield of his doth have special powers, so that now he is truly invincible. Well, I say if it is magical, then force him to not use it. Monitorians do not use magic weapon or armor, but no one can tell Luther anything. I can hardly speak of the champion knight without remembering Astrid's foul death at the hands of the goblins. I fear that there is none worthy to fill her shoes as champion knight. Except perhaps thyself, I must believe that thou hast had thy share of conquest in thy time. Monitor is not the town it once was. Our ancestors founded a settlement built on the principle of courage. But today greed and glory have corrupted our knights. Monitor needs a champion that is not only a leader on the battlefield, but someone who can stir their hearts and lead them back to what it means to be a knight. I wish a new champion knight would arise, one who can not only retrieve the helm of Monitor, but also right the wrongs in this town. Could that person be thee? I would like it to be so. Dost thou find me beautiful? I admit I love the attention, but I have never found the right man for me. But I sense that thou art somehow different, my lord. Would thou like to meet thither? I guess, yeah. Then meet me at the pub after we have closed in the wee hours before dawn. It is the only time I can be alone with thee since I work so late. I cannot wait. So what's your name? Let's see that. Did you say evening? What can I buy? Food? Poultry, beef, ribs, bread, fish, sausage, cake. Nice. Beef? Oh, it's a beef dinner. No. 12? No. Fish. Why am I still poisoned? I keep getting poison, recovering, then poison, recovering. What's happening? Look, I'm okay again. Okay, instead of joining, you can ask for the items. No. Wait. What are you doing? Whoa! What the fuck is he doing? Dude! Did I tell him to go away? What the fuck? Stop it! Join! Bye! Okay. Okay, we're all equipped. It's pretty chaotic. There's a bag here. What's in the bag? It's complete chaos. We need to sell the gold nuggets and gems if I can. Can we eat all this? Really, we're full. Anyway, it's good stuff. It should still be there. Like Red died. This was Shem's body. They really don't care enough. I tell them that he's dead and they're like, yo, Badflow, good evening. Welcome to the Wolf. Traitor. The charge against Craig are odious. Simply because a man is different. Simply because a man is different does not make him a criminal. He is not the traitor. I would not be surprised to find that one of the bearers did play traitor to their own command. Inspect closely the actions of Luther. He is not to be trusted. He is a braggart and a buffon. He thinks he shall be the next champion knight, but he hath never beaten me. I do not pretend to know what happened in the Knight's dungeon, but it sounds more like wizardry than goblin mischief. Dost thou have enemies in the city of mages, Camilio? Hast thou been to Moonshade? Lord Meinston may want us to believe that the traitor had been caught, but I do not believe it. As a favor to me, please continue searching for the spy. Surely conclusive evidence shall appear sooner or later. If thou dost feel like a skirmish, I shall be happy to meet thee there at the list field. I often give lessons in combat, teaching how to strike quickly. I am there every day at 3 o'clock. Dost thou art capable of a couple of rounds? He may be a bear, but he doth act like a pig. A fine-looking woman, but I know nothing of her. Simon would be the one to ask concerning information of the strangers passing through town. Okay, we can talk about all of these. Wow, Lydia. She's a spicy wench, that one. Hath quite a temper and is very opinionated. They say her sister was even more beautiful, when the sorceress took her away to their city. It would certainly be an experience to meet her, I'm certain of that. She's quite a flirt, that one, a true tease, if dost thou know, I mean, quite good looking and fun too. Perhaps thou mayest enjoy her company. To tell the truth, I believe she must be interested in someone else, a secret, torrid affair perhaps. Now who could her lover be? I haven't a clue. Now that Astrid is dead, Shazana deeply desires to be the new champion knight of Monitor. This is not such a great revelation, of course. Any of us would gladly welcome such an honor. She is more quiet, yet she is not unaffected by the often lonely life of a Monitor knight. Her skin is smooth and soft, finer than any Luxurian mane or hide that thou wilt find in her shop, I can assure thee. Her Excuse me, yeah. Arna, she's a widow now and hath a fine daughter. These days she keeps to herself and dabbles in magic. Dost thou imagine? I hope Kentra can be found. The goblin must have taken her. They eat children, as thou knowest. Astrid was a brave woman, but the next champion knight shall be me. Stealth and cunning are primary attributes of a fighter. The wolves are specialists in these regards. To be stalked and caught by a wolf patrol would be ghastly, but altogether honorable death. The wolves are the most canny fighters in Monitor. We are quick, silent, and deadly. We are experts at tracking and hunting our prey, and when we attack, nothing can withstand us. Someday all of Serpent Isle will belong to Monitor, and it will be because of the command of the wolf. I do not see why we stay down here in the south. Undoubtedly, the climate is warmer here, but the entire continent is ours for the taking. The bears merely want to hide here and stagnate, and the leopards have no ambition at all. Oh, they're all right. At least they listen to us and try to see our point of view. It is time that we dispense with the notion of all for one and one for all, and adopt the concept of may the best knight win. I believe one of them is a traitor. Didst thou hear that their patrol was ambushed at the Fallen Tower? Our beloved champion knight was slain by goblins in that battle. She may have been a bear, but she was beautiful. The patrol was betrayed, and who could have known the plans? Why, another bear, of course. Yeah, we'll check here. Anna. I'm gonna try to talk to this guy. Must be, though. Yeah, we talked about all that. Traitor. Craig again. So where is the healer? The healer is Anna. I'm actually dying right now. Yeah, my health is super low. Oh, it might be here. I'm not a magical healer. Minotaurians are quite suspicious of magic. I use a natural healing method which uses herbs. Are thou in need of a healer? The avatar is burning with fever. I can temporarily restore thy body, but thou art suffering from an affliction that cannot easily be cured. Such a pox may wear off in time if thou art extremely lucky, but thou canst only be permanently cured by a special ointment made from varro leaves. I'm sick. I need varro leaves. I tried 30 monetary and no less to perform mine healing. Is this acceptable? Yes. I have healed thy body of the ravages of the poison, but the effect shall keep occurring until thou art dead. Thou must bring me 5 varro leaves from Delphinia. From Delphinia. Okay. The horticultist and fawn before I can permanently cure thee of this affliction. These leaves are now scarce, as the varro grows only with abundant sunlight, and we have had clouded skies for many months. Go thou and see Delphinia, the horticultist and fawn. Perhaps she will have a supply of leaves. Food? I grow vegetable to feed the town, and sometimes to trade. Information. Strange objects? What sort of items are they inquiring about? Bloody hell. I do not recall having ever seen the type of rock that Alice described before. Craig is much more familiar with the rocks and plants of this area. Glowing rock. I never before heard of such. Okay. Pine cone. It's not as though thou art describing a pine cone. Trees from north of here. Bloody hand. Renfrey. Slippers. Perhaps thou mayest buy some such things from Craig, our town's provisioner. Simon is the barkeep at the inn. He knows more than anyone in town about exotic beverages. Blue egg. I once heard of the strange birds in the north. They have blue eggs. Pardon me, but my dinner is wasted. Yeah, she's done. Pox. Thy suffering came from no accidental affliction. The venom which mixes with thy blood is not common. Who did this to the Avatar? I strongly suspect that the source of this affliction is a tattoo. I know that Lydia must have given thee this tattoo, yet I find it difficult to believe she would poison a stranger. Thou should have words with her, I think. Dost thou believe in magic? Yes. That is good, for what I have to show thee would befuddle the minds of most of this town's inhabitants. Go to mine own. There thou shalt find a crystal ball. Gaze into it, and then thy mind be... this one. Help, leave me alone, stop. I know I'm only a little girl. Give me thy powers, never. Leave me alone, mage, I'm but a little girl. I know what thou art, bane of chaos. That body is but a shell that thou dost wear. I can escape thee, my powers dwarf thine. Thy powers have dwindled due to thine imprisonment. Thou art no match for me now. To the death. So was he right about that? Wow, he's actually getting his ass kicked. As thou hast now seen, the peril that faces Kentra doth go beyond merely being taken by the goblins. Some foul things doth possess her. The worst the goblins could do would be to kill her and destroy her body. This new uncertain danger is nothing less than a threat to her spirit, the very essence of her being. I implore thee, please find her and rescue her. It is certain to be a perilous undertaking, and I cannot blame thee if thou wouldst refuse the pleas of a simple woman. But none of the other knights believe in the visions of the crystal ball. They believe that Kentra hath been taken away by the goblins, and that she is already dead. Thou art mine only hope. Will thou please find my daughter Kentra and return it to me? Yes. Oh, I thank thee from the bottom of mine heart for thy kindness and thy bravery. To find Kentra, thou wilt need 2 things. The first of these is Kentra's practice sword. I can give that to thee now. This is the very same practice sword that Kentra used every day. Now that thou hast my daughter's sword, thou shalt find one of the legendary owls of Doskar. They will be able to sniff Kentra's essence from the sword. Okay. Finding Kentra. Find ounce of Doskar to sniff sword. Practice sword. And then track her to anywhere in the Serpent Isle. The only dilemma thou dost face now is to find one of the owls of Doskar. I do not know where one may find. But I foresee that thou must find the owl before they can rescue my daughter. Prophecy. Thou shalt need 3 ancient and powerful artifacts to complete thy task. One of these is a helm. It seems very familiar to me. Thy quest shall be long and difficult. Many are the adventures that thou must undertake. Seemingly unconnected events shall prosper thee in thy seeking of my lost daughter. Thy travel shall take thee north, far north, through caves that lie to the west. I can feel the cold wind blowing upon thee. I see no more. Okay, let's go talk to Lydia. Oops. Again? Wow, this is gonna be annoying. So they really want us to do this first. No, Lydia's not here. No. Oh, I think this is it. Poison. Yes, I poisoned thee, but I will not say at whose insistence it was done. There is no antidote, so thou canst look forward to a long and painful death. What? I spit upon thee, pawn of the demon British. Thou hast poisoned Camillo for the sake of Lord British? Yes, fiend British. I hate that monster. He represents all that is evil. Thou canst not take me to the dungeon without a fight. On guard. I spit upon thee, pawn of the demon British. Yeah, she's dead. We have a poison dagger and a bag. Oh yeah, another bag. Oh yeah, where we're starting. There's no bag lying around. That's the thing. I haven't seen any. Oh yeah, I should just take this money. What's this? Sleeping powder. Cloth. What's this? I I'm able to have 2 bags and all this shit? Okay, so this is different than the other Ultima. Maybe Exult is a little less... because that's a lot of crap. What's this? Amulet of Balance. Some bandages. Okay. Okay, let's put all the money and the gems. I need to convert all of this. Oh, of course it doesn't. That's it. I guess the money could just stay here. It's so big. Let's put these things instead. Oh, too heavy, too heavy, too heavy. You put this on there though. Oh, this guy's fine. Okay, one fits. Okay, whatever. Yes. Let's talk to, I don't know, Marston. Everybody's at the pub, I guess. Oh my god, no, stop it. Oh, I can pause. Oh, but it brings the combat thing. Dude. I think he's the guy, he's the only survivor. I think he's the guy that's the actual, what's your name? Templar. Yeah, with a name like that, you seem suspicious. Luther, another suspicious. People think it's you. Yeah, we talked to. I find me repulsive. That's nice. Filthy lie. Uh-oh. New shield. So that has earned my new shield. No one had ever seen the like of it before. Oh, he has my shield. It is so light, your blows seems to bounce off of it. Look! He doth have my missing shield. And that mystery shield we have must be his. What did he say? Return our shield. I will pay for that shield. Return. No, I will not. This is my shield, and it hath been mine since my father, a great knight of Monitor, passed it on to me. If thou dost call me a thief again, then thou art calling me a liar, and dishonoring the name of my father. If thou didst that, I would have to challenge thee to combat on the listfield, so if I were thee, I would think twice about speaking to me with such insolent tone. Found shield. No, that does not look like my shield. I do not believe I have ever seen that shield before in my life. Besides, I have this new shield, which by the way is a family heirloom. Thank you very much. That cold fish spectre must have coaxed thee to this. He hath been jealous of my manliness for many moons. Okay, I'm gonna write down that this guy has our shield. Luther as our shield. Somebody said that with this new shield, he was kind of invincible. We needed to convince him to not have his shield, so if we fight him, might have to do something about that. He knows that the woman prefer me to him, and he schemes against me. Why? I should rip thine head off and feed it to the pigs. That is it, goat. Meet me at the listfield. There I shall ram my... Yeah, you said that already. I disagree, yes. Meet me there in the morning. But not too early. I like my sleep. The night hour shall suppose. Okay. Let's try that. Was Lydia the traitor? Dishonored herself by poisoning thee? It was a shameful act. Yet I cannot believe that she betrayed her entire city to the goblins. Impossible. I tell thee, Craig is a traitor. Yeah, you said that already. Okay, yeah, we talked to you about all that. Mysterious sailor. Yeah, we talked about that already. I accept, I just don't know how that works. At noon. I tried that, she wasn't there. Shazana. Oh yeah, I wanted to go to the pub. Because I think everybody's there. If I can find it. No, it's all the same guys. Renfrey's supposed to know about something, no? I'm looking for Marston. I don't know where he is. I may be in the list field. Yeah, I guess we'll go to found directly. There was other thing I wanted to do, but the game kind of wants us to do this right now. Step aside, move along. There's somebody in there though, right? They used to wake up and, yeah, exactly. Marston! I wanted to talk to you. Enchanter... Oh, yeah. Yes. The key to the cell. Traitor. Lydia must have been part of Schmidt's secret conspiracy, but that no longer matters. Lot of the goblin spies are dead. Okay. Goblins. Yeah, we talked about that, right? 3 cities. 3 great cities are found in Moonshade, found in Monitor. Huh. Yeah, found did disappear eventually. But Moonshade? Craig, where is he? I haven't seen him in a while. The Mad Mage. Okay, people are asleep now. Celia. Craig. Hey Lars, how's it going? Yes, I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's Ultima 7, similar, but it's like different maps, so it's cool because it's not like your typical, like all the same characters, all the same. Like Ultima 7 is good-ish. There's a lot of problems, but if you ignore all the problems, it's actually a pretty good game. But it's still the same fucking map and kind of the same thing you're doing in Ultima 6, which was kind of the same thing you were doing in Ultima 5, which was kind of the same thing you were doing in Ultima 4. So it's been like 4 games that it's basically the same map and basically the same thing, basically the same dungeons. They're not the same, but they have all the same names. So it's kind of boring to have always the same things. You know where these dungeons, like Dungeon Deceit, is still like in the same place, and I have no idea why they did that. I don't think it was a good move. Let's go with walks in the. No, he doesn't like it. I think when we do that. Let's leopard. Yeah, bear. Duels. I like to visit sites of battle, looking for antique weaponry of armor. I collect them. I collect many things. Conspiring. As thou accuse me, I am an innocent man, and soon I shall present evidence of that fact. I have reasons of mine own to believe that someone among us is selling our secrets to goblins. Reasons of my own. There is someone else who takes long walks in the woods. I have never seen him clearly. He is very clever and always dashes away in the forest if I can identify him. Goblin or man? He was not goblin. They never trod in the woods except in war parties. Yet there was something in his gait. It was not entirely man-like. Oh, a gargoyle. Listen to this. If there is a traitor, he must meet with goblins somewhere. I know of a place where the goblins often gather. Perhaps I can find evidence there of who the traitor is. But of late, there have been too many goblin patrols near the rendezvous. I have been unable to reach that place undetected. Rendezvous. The place is easy to find, for the goblins are attracted to the ancient ruins of the isle, in the midst of the great cypress woods north of Knight's Death. Okay, look at that. Cypress woods north of Test. Strange black obelisk. It's the gathering place of goblin war parties before they strike south. Patrols. The goblin have been thick in the woods north of Knight's Death for weeks now. They have been emboldened ever since they overran the guard tower west of Fawn. That is where they slew Astrid, the bastards. Very well. There must have been a great warrior in the days when the demons ruled the Serpent Isle. My walks have taken me deep into the most tangled woods, where I have found many mysteries, ruins built of strange stone, artifacts made of brass, sometimes a skull or a shattered weapon, and always the sign of the serpent. Hast thou not wondered why our land is known as the Serpent Isle? Everywhere our ancestors went, they found the sign of the serpent. In carvings, statuettes. Throughout the many ancient ruins, Monitor itself was built on the site of an ancient ruin from the times of the serpent. Very well. Luther? No, he is suspicious of me. Yeah, okay. Information. Ruins. Okay, it's the same thing. Supplies? Oh, he's not open. Okay. Okay, I might just sleep here and then move to Fawn. Oh, there's a bed there. I don't know what time it is. I should always check time before going in bed. 6. Oh, we need to go get YOLO. AM. I forget I can quick save. Is that the key? Nothing in my backpack is as it was when old British gave it us the list at the time. I'm making a list of the strange items which the storm gave us. Then I shall add to it. Okay, let's see. What do you have? Oh, we can't see a thing. Can we go like where's there light? Where there's light? I know. A pumpkin, an urn with ashes. So yeah, we got your bow somewhere. This is your bow. What's that flashing there? No, put it in your hand, yeah. Oops. So, leather boots, chain legging, nothing, YOLO, backpack, leather elm, what's in there? Lots of food. Okay, what I'd like to do before going away is sell my stuff. Since I don't want to go around the town again, try to find what the fuck. Ultima 7 sell gems. No, Ultima 7.2. Oh, that's annoying. I need to type that every time. And it's still gonna give me Ultima 7 stuff, you know. Serpent Isle exchange rates. Okay, gold nuggets. Sleeping bowl and moonshade. I don't know where that is. I think I know where it is. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, some things can only be... Jewelry can actually be sold, so I should pick up the jewelry. I see, and you exchange jewelry with gold coin, monetary, guilders, filary. There's exchange rates for everything. Wow. That's annoying. That's very annoying. Yeah, since I don't plan on buying anything anyway. Do we have like just an armor? Like just a leather armor, I think. That would be nice. Oops. There you go. Oh, we need to go eat. I understand why they put that banquet there. So at least for the beginning of the game, you should have enough food. Let's eat everything. Should I bring the rest with me? Who has space? Okay, you're gonna be the food guy. This is green cheese. What the fuck is this? Okay. Oh, we're good. Okay, before going out on the highway, I'm gonna take a little break and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Stay tuned.
Soldiers in gigantic robot vehicles with one weakness. Hit his blast panel! Battle damage. Battletech. No guts, no galaxy. Adam Steiner comes with Axeman. Other mechs sold separately.
When you want to play the hottest, fastest, most advanced fighting game ever, forget everything else and play Doom 2 on your PC. No other game gives you the incredible realism, the 360-degree smooth scrolling, and explosive action like Doom 2. It's easy to start playing, but it won't let you stop. Doom 2, it will consume you. Play solo against a computer, against a buddy by modem, or online in an awesome 4-way deathmatch. Doom 2, playing in a PC software store near you.
We're back. Yeah, we'll stop here. Oh, filary, that's money, right? I did not know that when I put that there. Spell book. I need to find that. It's kind of important. Okay. Where was this? But the avatar had disrupted my performance. Yeah, we don't need this. Okay. Do we need 2 masons? So this was the key to the jail. I don't think I need it anymore. What was this key? What's this key? And this one, and this one. I don't think they're important. I think they're keys related to this place. So we're gonna leave them here. This was also related to this place, so let's put that there. What's this? Urn with ashes. I don't think that's important. So we have an empty bag, basically. This could be the bag of food. This could be the bag of food. Let's make it the bag of food. I'm not sure I can eat this. Maybe. So this here. I'm gonna keep these things. Maybe they're gonna be important. Okay. Put that there. Okay, then this bag it goes here. Cool. Yeah, I think this is the sleeping bowl. Clearly, the sleeping bowl. stuff to pick up here. Come on. I don't think so. Torches. Well, for now we need them. We need the torches. Yes, bags. Cheese and some meat. This won't fit there. If I remove that from there, can I do this? There you go. But we're gonna keep this food though. Let's put it on you. We can't recognize them now. Man, this is a downgrade from how the characters were. I mean, they look like shit. They were like, whoa, they still look like shit. But you knew exactly where was what. There were little lines, and it was clear. And also, the characters were more distinct from each other. Look at that. They all look at the same. They all look exactly the same. The face isn't exactly the same. Come on. In the other game, I can't remember exactly, but I was able to recognize these characters even with their armor on. I can't remember what it was, but it worked. How did they fuck this up? I think this is a shield that's been replaced by another shield. Yeah, what did I want to do now? I wanted to see where's the two bags. Bag of food. Where's my other bag? What the fuck? Oh, it's there? No, there was a bag of food. And I clicked you here. Shamino. Yourself. Dupree. Oh, it's there. God damn it. Also, now you can also have a pouch on the side there. Good. Now we have another empty bag, which could contain. Well, this one could be the real money. Okay, so we have a lot of monetary right now. Okay. I think this is money. No, guilders. It looks like that. What is this? These are gold coins. Gold coins. Monetary. Where's the other empty bag? Oh, there's this one. Okay. I don't know if that wasn't. Close this. Okay, these bandages. Put that elsewhere. I put that there. This is all gems and okay, perfect. Okay, it's better than nothing. Organization. You need it. Good. And we still have an empty bag on the ground. Oh, we have the gem bag? No, I don't want a gem bag. You can get the gem bag. You have almost nothing. Plus you have all the other gems. So you can take the empty bag. You put the torch in that. Why don't they stack these torches? That's annoying. Oh, that's money. Where's our bag of money? You have the bag of money. This is money. I don't think this ring is anything. Okay. Good stuff. What about these things? Bottles. Upstairs. Oh yeah, there was a bunch of oh, there was nothing in it. Ooh. Chain. Ah, but we know this is shit. These gauntlets are bad. I should just get the leather. Armor values, Ultima. I should just print this. There's not much. In terms of the helmet, chain, coif, crested. That's the same. The leggings, of course, plates are better. But it's the footwear. It's all one. So whatever footwear, doesn't matter. Swamp boots are just the best. That's it. You don't need magic boots. The warmth of magic boots is better. No, it's not better than leather boots. And the gauntlets... Yeah, gauntlets are better than other gloves, for sure. Two-handed axe there. Welcome to the Sleeping Bowl, my lord. Enter before we suffer another storm. I am Devra. My son Argus and I are running the inn since Angus disappeared. I have lived here since before I was married, and I've never seen anything like these mage-born storms. Why, one caught old man Jotham in his field and changed his plow horse into a goat in front of his eyes. But Jotham was lucky. 'Twas only his horse. We never did find what happened to Tayron. Argus is mine oldest boy. He's a captain in the pikemen, or he was until he came home to take over his father's place. Mine husband always thought that Wilfred, our youngest, would be the one to take the inn, but he had become too high and mighty to be an honest innkeeper. Thou dost seem like an honest, hard-working person. Perhaps thou canst help me discover what happened to Angus. 'Tis a right mystery. He disappeared and then my slippers disappeared. Now I've got no husband and a pair of old smelly boots. Oh, those are ours. They were hanging on the line to dry when one of those storms hit. When I went out to gather the wash later, there was these huge boots hanging where my slippers had been. I am gladly giving these things away, if only I had my slippers back. Avatar, those look like the swamp boots. If thou hast my slippers, my lord, I would gladly trade thee these boots for them. I have no great fondness for them, other than to keep my feet dry. Then I hope that thou dost not mind if I keep these. I have no way to buy new slippers, what with the storms and all. If thou should find my slippers again, I will give these back. Mystery. On the night Angus disappeared, I gone to bed and Angus had remained to sweep. If thou dost ask me, though, he stayed up to keep an eye on the strange mage that was staying here. I was stirred from a sound sleep by the sound of voices downstairs in the cellar. After I heard a crash, I went down to look, but I did not see anyone. I thought the mage's companion might have tried to slip down to have another drink for free, and though no more of it, until the morning. Mage companion. I do not know his name either. He never spoke to anyone other than the mage that I know of. He always walked about with his hood raised, as if he were cold or something, but he always gave me the shivers. Hast thou ever been in a sick room, my lord? A sick room where someone is about to die. There is a tension in the air, a stillness, and that always seemed to hover about the mage's large companion. He was probably the one that stole whatever it was from Ensorcio that night too. Stole. I remember that Ensorcio came storming in that morning, much earlier than usual, ranting about something being missing. I'll admit that I was a bit short with him, my lord. After all, I had to put all those barrels back myself, what with Angus gone and all, and that I and mighty mage never offered to lift a finger for anything more than another mug of ale. Aye, the cellar. We've had a lout or two think that they could slip down and take a bottle or two on the sly, but Angus always seemed to know when they tried it, threw them out with a few bruises for their trouble. 'Tis why I didn't worry till morn, when I found everything in disarray, and Angus gone. Yo, Moody Mystery, good evening. Disarray. The casks and barrels were scattered all over the floor down there. It looked like there may have been a fight, but I did not see any blood. Yes. Hey, thank you for the raid. How's it going? It took the rest of the day to put all back in order down there and make sure that nothing was missing. I waited a week or so before I sent word to Wilfred and Argus about their father not returning. Strange mage. He was a rather portly man, if I remember rightly. He had been here once before. I cannot seem to recall what his name was. He was not the talkative sort, at least not to me. Thou couldst ask Ensorcio. They talked quite a bit, or I know. Thou canst look in the registry. It is on the bar. Okay. Ensorcio. Thou hast not met the grand Ensorcio yet. Count thy blessings. Ensorcio is a smoldering black cloud that sits here day after day, drinking himself into a fit. All he does is glower about how those fools in Moonshade threw him out. And now he'll avenge himself. Ensorcio is an exiled mage who doth know what he did. I am too afraid to ask. If he was thrown out by that lot, thou canst wager that it could not have been good. Although Angus did not trust mage, he allowed Ensorcio to stay. Angus said that a mage had to have a clear head to cast spells, and we should worry if Ensorcio ever so learned. Wilfred is a Monitorian knight, my lord. He always was headstrong, and I think his father harried him overmuch. He ran away to be like his brother, only better, he said. Theron was a simple man, not quite right in the head, if thou knowest what I mean. He worked for Angus and me, for nigh and 3 years as a woodchopper, until one of these storms. Angus pulled Theron inside when the storm hit, but Theron ran back out, bringing his favorite axe. Next thing there was a blinding flash, and Theron was gone. If thou shouldst be it with lightning, normal lightning, mind thee, thou art dead. Plain and simple. They buried the charred body the next day. But storms that change things, or make them disappear, or exchange them for something else, well now, it seems to me that this magic, right enough. I don't have to be from Moonshade to conjure that answer. Fine city though, it's plagued by wizards and mages, the place reeks of sorcery. Hast thou heard anything more of what might be causing these storms? I wonder if anyone has done anything to stop them. No? Exchange money. Okay, I thought I was able to sell gems here. So if I want gold coins, I can exchange, aha! I can exchange all the gems. Wow. Yes. Okay, and you choose how many gems. I think the exchange rate is the same everywhere, so that's not a problem. Gold nuggets to gold coins. 20 gems to gold coins. 50. Yeah, all of them. Oh, that's fine. Take it. Food. And mutton. I think mutton is the best. Donald. I thought away the silver pate. That was not yet heard of silver pate. Was beginning to think the wall shouted it as fast as the guests hear about it around here. Going to stories. And there were only stories, Mandy. Silver Pate was a pirate. I thought it was a plate like silver pate, silver pate. Oh, silver pate, so bitter. Was a pirate who took his treasure inside the Seer Inn. It was supposed to have hid his treasure somewhere around here before he disappeared. No, I wanted like a legit classic experience, as I never played the Ultima games, especially not 7. I played a couple of the others, but I didn't play 7. But about halfway, I kind of regretted playing in the normal mode, because, yeah, Exult is the shit. What a lot of nonsense. While we have a 2 old generation of kin and neighbors looking everywhere imaginable for it. I even looked a bit at first, but if it hasn't been found after all this time, my lord, with all those looking for it, I tell thee not to waste thy time looking. Disappeared, same as all silver pate. Silver pate. Yeah, okay, there's a couple of things I want to do with you. First of all, exchange. No, I wanted to buy, see if food, mutton. Yes. Yes. So it's at 22 per mutton? That's a lot. It's just one of these for 22 bucks. I mean, we have a lot of money, but call it okay. Yeah, let's reload that. Also, the slippers. Nobody has the slippers anymore, right? I might have left it in the registry. Rodolfo of Moonshade, Nicoli of Fawn, and Sorcerer of Moonshade, Richard of Monitor, Batlin of Fawn, and Palos, manservant of Batlin. Palos. Bring back slippers. I'll remember what that means. Am I in trouble, am I? I'm not in trouble, am I? I did not do anything. My name's Cain. I be a sheep herder. I'm waiting for passage to Moonshade, if thou pleasest. Passage. I was told by Mistress Devra that I could buy passage with Captain Hawk to Moonshade. But when the captain came to the dock, he swore that he had not go out in these storms again. I do not blame him, to tell thee the honest truth, but I do wish there was some way for me to talk to the mages there. Oh, she be a nice lady, my lord. Mistress Devra helped me to count my money when I came. She put part of it in a little sack and told me that I was to give it to Captain Ogg to buy passage. And when she counted the rest, I could not afford to stay here until the captain decided it was safe to sail. But she said if I helped by chopping wood and such, I could stay as a servant, like. It was a terrible kind. That was terrible. That was terribly kind of her. That was terrible kind of her. That was terrible kind of her. Enough to make a man's blood turn to ice, my lord. Why, one moment Edrin was not more than 5 paces from me, and then he weren't nowhere to be found. Of course it took a minute or two for mine eyes to clear and mine ears to cease ringing after that lightning strike, but I went searching right away and I couldn't find eye nor ear of him. Edrin is mine older brother, my lord. We were herding the sheep into the pen one night when one of these strange storms hit out a clear sky. I looked and looked and looked, but ain't no one seen him. All I found was this here parrot, which I brought along for the company to Moonshade. Well, my lord, as near as I can summarize, if these storms ain't natural, then that means they must be magic-like. And everyone knows that if thou dost want anything magic-like, thou should go to Moonshade. If these storms took Edrin away and they're magic-like, then one of them mages must be able to tell me how to find them. All I have to do is go there and ask. Mistress Devra told me I might ask Master and Sorcerer if he could help me. She said he was one of the mages. I wondered a little about that, because everyone doth know that all mages live in Moonshade, but I asked anyhow. I'd not like to speak ill of anyone, my lord, but Master and Sorcerer doth have the worst temper I've ever seen. All I did was ask if he was a mage and could he help me, and he threatened to change me to a frog. All he would have had to do was tell me to go away and leave him alone. And I read that and was like, I don't get it. Now I get it now. And I would have not bothered him no more. Now I know why Da was used to say if we were bad, the mages would come and take us away. Mayhap Master and Sorcerer never had a Da to teach him matters. I'd be searching for Edrin a little over a day. I suppose when I found this here parrot sitting under a tree, all pitiful like, now I was awful lonesome, so I asked the bird what it was doing out in the forest instead of home in a cage. Like to leapt out of my skin when the thing croaked, "Aye." But Captain Ox said that's the way of such birds. Still and all, I think Ale, this is his name now, is smarter than some of the folks I know, and he doth have a powerful fondness for Ale. Hope Edrin will allow me to keep Ale. After all, he doth have his crystal, and I do not have nothing. When I was not very old, Da took Edrin to Moonshine with him. I remember I cried and cried, but Mother said I was too young to go. She promised I'd be allowed to go next time. Only there wasn't a next time because Dad died that fall, and Edrin and I had been too busy with the sheep to go since. But sometimes, when I was scared at night, Edrin would let me hold the crystal until I fell asleep, and I never had any dreams then. Who would have thought I'd travel all alone to Moonshade like this one day? Captain Hawk sails the Arabella. That's the ship at the dock out there ways. He was staying here until he got in a fight, and the pikemen took him away. Thou art not here to take me to, art thou? I didn't fight honest. I hid under the table when Captain Hawk and Master Flindo started shouting at one another. Master Flindo is a merchant of some sort, I think. He is not very nice. All he doth do is complain about Captain Hawk not wanting to sell to Moonshade. He says that Captain Hawk only wants more money, but the captain refused all his offers of more money. I think Captain doth not want to put any of us in danger is all, and Master Flindo was not very happy when the pikemen took Captain Hawk away. Begging thy pardon, my lord, I don't mean any disrespect. Master Flindo came in with several pikemen and said something to Captain Hawk that I didn't hear. Then the two of them began yelling and someone began swinging. I did not see who, being under the table and all. Someone clouted Captain Hawk pretty hard, and then the pikemen were dragging him away. Master Argus shouted at them to leave be, but thy pardon. They told him to mind his own innkeep and nothing else. Master Argus was mighty angry and was for going after them, but Mistress Devra stopped him. He said words I had never heard before. Ain't he big and strong though? I'll wager he could lift even more than my brother. And Edrin can lift 2 full-grown heirs all by himself. I can tell that Master Argus is, or was, a pikeman. He doth have those marks on his face, but I do not understand why those other fellows treated him like they did. Mayhap they were angry at him for talking like that in front of his mother. Whew. What a conversation. You. Pardon, my lord, my name is Selena. Thou dost look to be brave and trustworthy. I need thy protection. Protection? Yes, protection. People are disappearing around here. I do not know if those mysterious storms or if there's something more sinister at work. All I know is that I'm afraid. People disappearing. First, there was someone they called Silverpate, and now Angus is gone. One built the inn, and the other was the innkeeper here. And those other disappearing doth cause me to wonder if this place is cursed or something. Mysterious storms. Everyone knows that these are not natural storms, Camilio. Why even I never told her my name. Why even the mages of Moonshade are worried. Old Gustaccio is practically pulling out what little air he doth have trying to discover what's causing them. If the mages are worried, Camilio, people such as we should be very wary indeed. Gustaccio specializes in weather magic, Camilio. 'Tis all very confusing, if thus ask me. I know that the Council of Mages questioned him closely after these storms began, but they seem to think that they had no end of them and set him to the task of trying to stop them. The Council of Mages oversees all of the mages in Moonshade. I don't know much more about them than that. Thou shouldst ask Ensorcio if thou wish to know more. Well, Ensorcio told me that Theron, one of the servants, disappeared not long ago, and then, on the night that Angus disappeared, 2 guests disappeared as well. 2 guests. I did not meet them, but Ensorcio told me about them. He said something about one of them being a mage, and the other being a very large man. So now, dost thou understand why I'm so worried? If something could happen to a mage or a big, strong man, what chance do I have? He's the mage who's staying here. He does seem sinister, but he's nice to me. Not as nice as Argus, but nice for a mage. He seems to drink a lot, and he doth have a bad temper too. Argus is very nice to me. He compliments me in my dress or my air, even though I know I look a mess. He's much nicer when Devra isn't around. I do not think she likes me. She's always watching me. It doth make me nervous. Mayhap I shall be the next one to disappear. If she were not so old, I might think that she had something to do with those people disappearing. Or maybe she knows more than she doth admit. We can discuss whatever dost thou wish to discuss, my lord. Lost ring. An engagement ring. I suppose it would be too much to hope that it was for me. Honestly, young lady. Forgive me, Camilio. I was merely jesting. I should have realized I was not dying. See how crude the tracery is? And how ill the stones fit? It is clearly an unacceptable piece of inferior quality. It looks like it may have come from one of the lesser artisans in Moonshade. Perhaps thou would show it to me later. I know nothing about rocks. Find someone else. So I might have to, hang on to these items. Put them in a bag. Thou could ask a scholar or some such, perhaps even a mage might be able to help, I don't know. Welcome back. Oh yeah. We'll go down there later. Oh wow, like gradual lighting, that's neat. No, I shouldn't touch anything here. So where is everybody? this guy, which is named Kane. Cloaks are good. I think it's like a +1 protection or something. They're not wordless. What about this parrot? Can we talk to it? Cracker. Let's go up there upstairs. Huh. Some things here. There's a switch there. Oh, there's a switch everywhere here. I don't see anyone. Maybe they're outside. I'm here. Whoa. Oh. Okay, so if we want some food, oh, what the fuck? Oh, okay. What's this? Mushrooms. Who's this guy? Shopkeeper. Yo, wake up. Wake up. My name is Flindo. I own a provisioning shop in Moonshade and have many important connections there. So art thou another stranded victim of Auk and his childish fear of storms? Or art thou here to investigate the curious disappearance of Mistress Deborah's good husband? Auk. That bag of wind calls himself a sailor. Ha! Now I'm asking thee, what manner of captain would strand me and poor dumb Kane, paying passengers, mind thee, here in this little backwater inn because of some storm? So I went to the pikemen. Everyone knows that the pikemen guard the roads and towns, my lord. They are noted for their honesty. I thought perhaps they could persuade Auk to abandon his ploy for more money and sell for Moonshade, as he should. I made an appropriately large donation, their coffers, but I did not expect them to waylay Auk to rot in some jail cell. I suppose that is what comes of not knowing the difference between leopards, bears, and wolves. Not being from Monitor, I'm afraid I'm woefully uninformed. The wolves are the ones of the three commands of Monitor. They control the tower near here, Sleeping Bowl. Wolves are regarded as the friendliest of all the commands. I know little about them, my lord. The bears are one of the three commands. They control the tower near Fawn, where their natural aggressiveness can be put to use against the goblins. They don't control the tower anymore. Leopards. I know what any non-Monitorian knows, my lord. The leopards are one of the three commands of Monitor. They control the tower nearest Monitor itself. I know that they share the rule of Monitor. Kane. Look for a young lad talking to a parrot. That would be him. Witless lad doth not have enough sense to steer clear of Insorcio. Comes asking if Insorcio was a mage, and would Insorcio help him in El find his lost brother. Kane doth not have the sense of a cat. Ale. Ale is what Kane calls a parrot of his, and it certainly shows a great enthusiasm for the brew, to be sure. Not usual for a bird, mind thee, but a trick most likely taught to it by some sailor before the lad found it. Now there is one to avoid, if ever there was one. The mages wondered when Vasculio took Insorcio as an apprentice. Temper like that is not good in a mage, and when thou considered Vasculio's interests, well, 'tis enough to make a body worry. And then with what happened about that Adept's daughter, no one was surprised when the Council of Mages stepped in and exiled Ensorcio except maybe Ensorcio himself. Adept's daughter. Oh, thou wouldst do well not to ask too closely about who she is, my lord. Mages are very protective of their privacy and their pride. Suffice it to say that Ensorcio took a fancy to the girl and, when she would not give him the time of day, used his magic to persuade her to see him. I was surprised the council punished him with simple exile. I have thought he would have gone to the Mountains of Freedom for his crime. The Mountain of Freedom. Speak to that name quietly, my lord, and hope that thou never hast reason to learn much about it. Long ago those mountains were full of ore, and many spent their lives mining it, but most of the veins were empty when they uncovered the stone heart. Never repeat that word in public, my lord, or thou wilt find a personal view of the Mountain of Freedom. Stoneheart can be used to create another mineral, a strange reagent that magnifies magical powers, especially death spells. It is very dangerous. Okay, I should write that down. Stoneheart can be used to create strong spell. No. Magnifies powers. Magical powers. That was a weird fucking sound. Anyway, after that was found there, the mines were sealed until Filbercio became Mage Lord, that is. Mage Lord. The Mage Lord must be an adept and rules all Moonshade. Although the Mage Lord's power is great, it is held in check by the other members of the Council of Mages. Being that mages are, by nature, egotistical, the Council of Mages is only open to other adepts, the peers of the Mage Lord. Their presence on the council is meant to keep the Mage Lord from becoming too tyrannical. Filbercio is an ambitious man, my lord. He is also a man of many passions, shall we say. Not all in Moonshade were happy when he became Mage Lord, and Filbercio would have it that he is a popular ruler, and he would enjoy the powers of his office without fearing rivals. So Filbercio filled the mines with all manner of magical traps and made it a prison for his enemies. This said that if thou canst escape from the depth of stone, thou art free and vindicated of any charges against thee. But as of yet none have proven themselves innocent, if thou takes my meaning. Do not tell me that thou hast not heard that legend. I was not around for any of this, mind thee. I wasn't even born yet, and Sorcio isn't as young as he appears, being a mage and all. But my father talked about it enough. It happened when he was a mere boy. Well, years ago there was experimenting plenty among the mages. There were not nearly as many restrictions as there are now. Vasculio specialized in death magic, not like Mortegro, mind thee. No, Vasculio did not want to speak with the dead, he wanted to cause death. And he was none too particular if it was quick death or not. Anyway, soon his research even upset the Council of Mages. When the council went to deliver Vasculio an ultimatum, they found him indeed so horrible that was determined that he was no longer human. They put him to death, but his tomb was broken open and emptied before a week had passed, and they say that somehow he still lives to practice his dark arts. Mortego is fine, a bit flighty at times, but all mages are, if thou dost ask me. Montegro's true specialty is speaking with the dead. Restrictions. Well now, there are quite a number of them, and I only know a few, not being a mage. Let's see, certain creatures cannot be summoned within the confines of the city. This would come to light after some damn fool mage summons a dragon that burned out the city. Only mages approved of by the Council of Mages may sell death spells, and the Council must be notified of all research and experiments. There, this is all I can remember. If thou desirest to know more, thou should speak to a mage. Connections. Although I'm not a mage, I am an influential man in Moonshade because my shop provides the staples of life to that secluded island. Why, I even know the Mage Lord's mistress. If we ever leave this forsaken inn, my lord, perhaps I can obtain an audience with the Mage Lord himself. He trusts me implicitly. Ask me again when we arrive. And thou mayest find that some of the mages are very reclusive and will not speak to thee without proper introduction. Oh yes, Filbercio is quite a ladies' man, and what woman would not jump at the opportunity to win the Mage Lord's favor? For now, Frigidesi holds the Mage Lord's eye, and from what I have seen, Filbercio seems to have found a way to thaw the charms of that cold mage. Ask me about it again if we sail to Moonshade. I shall relish telling thee more then. But for now, it only makes me angrier with Og for stranding me here. Here's disappearance. It occurred immediately after I arrived here. I recall that one morning Mistress Devra was beside herself with worry because Angus was nowhere to be found. I told her not to worry herself too much, as sometimes a man will feel too constricted at home and need to wander for a bit. But she would not be dissuaded and sent for Argus. Argus Angus. Okay, yeah, not the same guy. Argus is Mistress Devra's oldest son. He inherited more than a little bit of his father's temper, and always dreamed of being a fighter. 'Twas no surprise when he traveled to Monitor to become a pikeman. Not all good came of it, however. He found himself some trouble down there, so I have heard, and there had been bad blood between him and Wilfred ever since he left here. Wilfred is Argus' younger brother. After Argus left, Angus raised Wilfred very strictly, so Wilfred holds Argus in no great esteem. Wilfred was always a willful, snobbish sort of child. In my own opinion, he needed to have his head knocked a time or two to deflate that ego of his. Angus was stricken when Wilfred left to become a knight. If thou dost not want to answer to Argus Steele, my lord, thou should not mention this to him. Seems that Argus' temper found him a duel with a boy from another command. Argus killed the boy, and apparently without giving him any quarters. Sad business for a fighter. Angus was a big man. I cannot see how any harm could befall him without alerting the whole inn. I think perhaps he took a notion to leave and go adventuring. He had a strange sense of humor and a powerful temper. Who knows, mayhaps he became angry at Mistress Deva and walked away. Mistress Deva is a sweet-natured lady, too good-hearted to be an innkeeper sometimes. I had recently begun making trips with my father when Donal hired her to do the cooking. It was before she married Angus. Poor woman, first Tyron and then her husband. Tyron was a worker here. This is Sleeping Bowl. Tyron was a worker here. Mistress Devra took him in and gave him work and a place to stay. He was not very bright. So, there's more than these, but we know that Tyron and Angus are missing. But there's also other people. I think that they also said that a mage and the hooded, like a big hooded guy, which is most likely a gargoyle. And the mage might be battling, I think. Like I said, sometimes Mistress Derva is too kind for her own good. Anyway, Tyron was caught in one of those storms and no one had been able to find him since. So he got caught in the storm, different than the other disappearance. Donal was Angus' father. He was a good, hard-working man. It was a good thing Donal was not anything like his father, Silver Pate, or I doubt the Mistress Devra would ever have gotten Angus a second look. It is hard to think that Angus disappeared exactly like his grandfather did. Silver Pate. Why, Silver Pate is the one who built this inn. Everyone said Silver Pate was a pirate who grew too old for the sea and went searching for a way to become respectable. He used part of his treasure to reconstruct this place. There are rumors in Moonshade that he hired a mage for some reason, but I have never been able to confirm it. They said it was very suspicious, man. Anyhow, Silver Pate disappeared when Donal was still a young man. Everyone thinks the treasure is still hidden here somewhere. Now I should ask Mistress Derva about that. All I know is that one day no one could find Silver Pate, and it was never found. Donal took over the inn and nothing more untoward happened until Tyron disappeared. Don't ask me, Silver Pate was a pirate. Who knows what such a man would have hidden? Personally, I think that if there were any treasure, it had long since been found, and if none had been found, then there never was any hidden treasure. I found it hard to believe that a man such as Hawk, with a ship such as the Arabella, would fear any storm, magical or otherwise. I've heard of too many odd events connected to these storms to discount their unusual nature, but all such tales speak of danger on land. I think Hawk's reluctance to sail lies more at the bottom of an empty mug and an empty coffer. The Arabella is a fine ship, good lines and fast running before a stiff breeze. And I've heard that Hawk had some sort of enchantment laid on her so that she could not be sailed without him on board, but that could merely be more of his idle boasts. Whew. Wow, so much dialogue in this game. It seems to be less characters than Ultima 7, less towns, but they talk more. What's this? A scroll. I returned home to the bowl. What? Whoa. I just want to move. Oh, I can't move this. I returned home to the bowl as soon as I received Mother's letter. It was not easy to relinquish my command, but Mother needed me, and so here I am. Oh, this is Argus? I have examined the grounds and found nothing. Mother says she heard noises from the cellar the night Father disappeared. When I investigated, I found crates overturned, but nothing else. I feel soulless? If only I had something, some shred of evidence indicated when became a father. Yeah, I might not be able to take this in front of them. Greetings, fellow pikemen. Come in out of them strange storms and rest a bit. This be the inn of the Sleeping Bowl, and I be Argus, the innkeeper. These ain't natural storms. I was never a wolf captain. If thou were to ask me, living all these years across from Moonshade, I'd say they were magic born. And I'm afraid, and I'm afeared, they'd drive us out of business if they last too long. It's an uncommon name, to be sure. It doth have something to do with the village that once was here. According to family tales, this land once belonged to a mage who aided all people. This mage created a huge stone bowl to kill trespassers on his land. It was the bull's defeat that gave the village its name, and in turn became the name of the inn itself. I see that thou art also of the Wolf Command, though I must confess I can't recall having seen thee. Until my father disappeared 6 months ago, I was a captain in the Monitor Wolf Command. Now, however, I am the innkeeper, and I'll not stand by the formalities of rank. So I welcome here. I've never been there myself, not being overly fond of wizards and their feuds. Without desirous spells or items or enchantment, that is the place to go. If thou art looking to go to the city of mages, thou will need a boat. Aye, few people care to stray too far from shelters these days. Even Ock put in here and refused to budge because of the storms, though his passengers are less than thrilled with his decision, and all our help ran off to the cities, hoping that it would be safer around all those buildings. Passengers. Ock had 2 passengers staying here until he puts out again. If he ever pays a pikeman, that is. One of them is the fellow with the parrot, Kane, I think his name is. The other is an arrogant fellow named Flindo. He's a merchant. I was glad to have them, being as we only have 4 other guests. Yes, there be Ensorcio, he's an exiled mage from Moonshade. There be Selena, who had not been here ever very long. She is very afraid of these storms. Birin's here. She is a blessing. It's good to have a gleeman to pass the weary hours between storms. And then there be that new fellow, Migim. I don't know too much about him. He hath only been here a few days and is rarely out of his room. Bull's defeat. One day the mage heard a local noble's son claim that he could defeat the bull. The mage told the boy he was welcome to try, but death would be the reward of failure. When the boy asked what would reward his success, the mage wagered his land. That night the boy stole the ring from the bull's nose, turning it back to inanimate stone. The village was named after the huge stone bull that once stood in the center of the market square. I do not know what happened to the bull, if ever there was one, for I searched for it as a lad and never found it. The magic storms have wrecked every boat on this coast except one. That vessel belongs to Captain Ock. 'Tis no use to think of hiring him. He was in a fracas here, broke things up a bit. The pikemen dragged Ock away when he took a swing at their commander. He's being held at Bow Tower until he pays a fine. Ock is held at Bow Tower. I didn't call them, my lord. I've known Ock since I was a boy, and being a pikeman myself, I've little to worry about with him. To be sure, he can put a mighty fight and break things, but he always pays for the damage when he wakes. Someone else must have pulled them in after him. I'd wager my sword that it was that merchant Flindo. It was mightily put out when Ock refused to sell to Moonshade until the storms eased up. Wizard feuds. There isn't a sorcerer alive what doesn't scheme to become mage lord of that city. The whole place is split into rival factions that bicker constantly with each other. Howdy bunch are we not? That not as odd-headed as those bears and much more tightly knit than those leopards. What can I tell thee that does not know already know? Monitor is a city of the south of here. It is dedicated to courage and valor. Monitorian soldiers are called the pikemen and wear a tattoo on their faces. There are 3 pikemen commands, the wolf, the leopard, and the bears. I command the wolf command. I'm captain of the wolf command. Each command runs the city for a portion of the year. The senior officer of the command becomes Lord of Monitor for that command's portion of the year. This ensures the continuing balance of commands. It was meant to keep the battling for supremacy between the commands at a minimum. If each command knows that it will have a chance to control the city during the year, more attention is given to the military functions of the command rather than the political. Far disappeared. Angus disappeared, and not during one of those storms neither. Who could have understood that? And Mother, Deborah, said that one of our guests disappeared the very same evening. One of the guests. Thomas Need asked Mother what she remembered of that night. I weren't here. Mother was understandingly aggrieved by the time she called me home. She had hoped that Lord Wilfred would come to run the inn as Father had hoped, but I came instead. And I don't recall if she mentioned the guest's name, to be honest. Blast, did I call him that? Old habits die hard. I thank thee not to repeat that in Deborah's hearing, for she'd have mine ears for sure. Wilfred is my younger brother, and like most brother, we have our share of spats. I grew up here in the inn, scrubbing pots and whatever else we needed. But I dreamed of seeing more of the world. I went wandering when I was a young man. And Angus, our father, raised Wilfred using me as the bad example. But instead of making Wilfred hold to his wishes, Angus drove Wilfred into my footsteps, determined to best anything I did. Best. I became a captain and monitor, but that was not good enough for Wilfred. He had to be a knight, and a bear at that. It's sad to see the likes of him and his friends making mockery of Monitor's ideas. Now I've seen the changes, I'm sure. Courage and valor have become so debased that knights like Wilfred are little more than braggarts and mercenaries. When once the pinnacle of honor was a Monitorian knight, now people see them as vain bullies. It sickens me. I nearly decided to renounce my commission when Mother sent word of Father's disappearance. Father said I was too much like my grandfather, Silverpate. He never thought I'd amount to much, even after I'd made captain. It like to broke his heart when Wilfred ran away to Monitor. That's where the Lord Wilfred hides from. He acts like a swaggering noble with all his self-important ambition. Silverpate were a pirate. I'll make no bones about it. He built this inn when he retired from the sea. His son Donald, my father's father, took over when Silverpate disappeared. Some think he might have gone back to the sea. Others say that his evil past caught up to him. No one ever saw him again, but there's been plenty wanting to hunt for his treasure. Family legend doth say that Silverpate used part of his treasure to build the inn. Everyone seems to think that he had hid whatever was left somewhere around here before he disappeared. But I'll tell thee, there ain't no treasure, and I should know. I think this will be the end of the stream. End of stream 3. So we'll continue exploring Sleeping Bull, but this is just passing. Hopefully we won't stay too long, but there's a lot of people to talk to. There's like still, I think, 4 or 5 people to talk to. The mage and every single one of them has a lot to say. But that's cool. And then we'll move to Fawn, because we need to heal ourselves with some kind of pox. Yeah, this reminds me of the Friendly Arms in Baldur's Gate, like a big huge inn between towns. I'm sure this was common back in the day. Back in the medieval, back in the days of the dragons and the dungeons. Okay, let's raid somebody. Because yes, of course, the dragons existed. Let's raid. Level 1. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night. See you next time. Ciao. no, tomorrow 8 p.m. For some Homeworld, and there will be more of this on Wednesday. Ciao.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
I'll buy that for $1.